coaches and abilities. The Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy is a world-class training program designed to make you a rider who will accomplish more than just personal fitness gains. For every 10 cyclists who graduate the academy, Zwift will donate a Quebec bike to help mobilize South African communities.
The work that we do with Quebec, we can change the lives of many different people in communities, and hopefully one day a child that starts on a Quebec bicycle ends up at the Tour de France. Zwift is an amazing platform to connect with fans and to ride with people around the world, and takes indoor training to another level.
Zwift, it feels real, like you do a climb, 20-minute climb, a 30-minute climb, it feels real, and that you can really relate that to racing. I always say it's like the best thing since SRM.
I think it's a lot of people that are really strong and maybe not have the chance to show how strong they are.
The Academy doesn't stop here. Top performing graduates under the age of 22 will be invited to compete for a contract with Team Dimension Data's U23 Continental Squad.
This is a real opportunity for any under 23 rider from around the world to come into our Continental team to showcase their talent and to be a part of the national team circuits and the under 23 circuits, and then potentially get into the world tours.
I truly believe that Zwift Academy is going to fill in a huge chunk of that journey from being a dreamer to the reality at the end.
Zwift and Team Dimension Data challenge you to train today for a stronger, better tomorrow. Take action now and sign up at academy.zwift.com.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race, part of the Zwift Academy races that need to be completed to do the program. We do have it looks like 20 riders off the front after one lap into the race. Let's get right into the racing action. Power-ups are allowed in the race in this A category, and we do have a few of the heavy hitters, but maybe not the strongest of the strong out on Zwift. C-Loke is there, though. Gravdal is there to be watching out for, as well as Gavin Richardson. So definitely ones that could win against some of the super elite out there, the likes of the Cartwrights and the Allenbys and others, but not on a regular basis. But it's really good to see everybody showing up out there today and hammering way out there. So the reason I bring that up is because it is a race that is kind of up for grabs a little bit with the strength in the field right now. So I think a lot of the riders here might be looking for that W that's been elusive to them in the last few weeks, especially in the last couple of weeks since the Zwift Academy has started. I do have social media integrations on. We are live over at Zwift Community Live's Facebook, our Mixer channel, as well as our Twitch channel. The VOD of this race will be available over on YouTube. So make sure to bring your comments right on in, and we will make sure to interact and see what you got going on. I see Roger saying hello, as well as Ian Anderson. Good to see you there, Ian Anderson. Great job this morning on your broadcast as well, saying he did a 101 intensity factor. Whew, was that for the first lap, you're saying, or was that for the entirety? With a 340 on the hill climb on the Watopia Hilly. Was that this morning? That is absolutely insane effort. Yesterday, actually, we did see Mr. Quentin Lefay here from Vision Cycling taking, I believe, a second place in the SCR Racing Series, maybe coming back looking for a little bit better today, as had a little bit of taste of almost victory right to the line, but he did have quite few other teammates there bringing him to that point. I know Adam Webb with a full-on sacrifice down the hill and into the finishing straight, and I believe there was even one other rider in there with him leading out right to the line. Almost timed perfectly, but was nipped at the line. I believe it was by a BRT rider. I'm going to have to double check the results from yesterday's SCR race. But we do have MD here from the BRT team here, as well as Jay Lecoq, and then it looks like V Mail from the KRT team as well, with that new kit looking slick in game. Innovations showed up, it looks like, as well as Fleetwood from Vision Cycling here. Mac D from the TFC is in there as well, but he's in the chase group at this point. That all elusive all elusive W for MACD. He's been getting some podiums here and there, but not going to be seeing it today with a 127 off the front. There is a solid group now off the front here. It looks like of, I will say, 19 riders, if that's correct still. 19 riders. A newer rider to the world of Zwift racing. Welcome to Zwift Racing will be Jay Kropf, coming out of Canada, as well as it looks like our Engner coming out of the UK. So welcome to the world of Zwift Racing. If you haven't registered already over at zwiftpower.com. D. Charlton as well. Welcome to the world of Zwift and KISS Racing. And it looks like they may be getting in their Zwift Academy race here, as you do see Crop toward the front here coming out of Canada with that ZA badge in his name. If you're unfamiliar with those badges, that's what those little significations are. On the right-hand side, you also see the A categories. Currently, we are covering the A category race. We will watch the B and C finishes as best we can. We only have one feed coming in today. But as far as the categories go, these riders are assumed to hold 4.0 watts per kilogram or higher, 3.2 to 3.9 for the B category, and 2.5 to 3.1 for the C, and 0 to 2.5 or so for the D category. So if you are looking at these numbers and these abilities and you're like, no way, not for me, there are levels of every type out there racing right now. You can jump into pretty much any race and have somebody, jump into the race around your ability level and have somebody to race against out on Zwift almost every hour of the day here. So Anger now, this is one of the newer riders to the world of Zwift. Maybe a couple of wild cards in here actually today because of the Zwift Academy. I would definitely want to call out Anger and a welcome to him, as well as Croft and Charlton. And also watch out for what they can accomplish out here. Charlton goes 6 seconds off the back going, okay, whoa, what just happened? And going to see those boys later. MD as well, though. One of the riders who I'm surprised to see off the back, we'll give him a ride on his encouragement here as we are whittling it down to, I think, 17 riders now. MD, recent results, 99 races out on Zwift. Looks like to be a mountain biker. And he's got a 4th place recently on the 17th. That was about 4 days ago, actually. In the KISS Americas back on Sunday. And KISS Europe a few weeks ago. So it's been a little while since Mr. MD has raced. He took a 3rd way back on August 3rd in the ZTR Thursday night race, actually, with only a 398 watts per kilogram, actually. So smart, savvy racer out on Zwift. We'll give him a little encouragement because it's going to be a TT solo all the way to the line. He's got a 102 gap here on Fleetwood and Kiff, but it's going to be a long day to try and hold off the groups chasing them down. As Fleetwood also has a gap at 5.0 watts per kilogram, maybe looking to bridge up to MD if he can. MD kicking one more time up into 5.6 watts per kilogram, not giving up the ghost just yet, as he can see that Charlton's just a little ways up, could form a group with him at least, and try and bring back some time on stragglers who are falling off the pace. As we do see Nefke here from Race WBR coming out of the Netherlands. We'll give him a ride on as he tries to grab that 1 second back, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening today, as we do see the German rider just hanging out of the back, 402 watts here. It does look like they did a 341, so not the kind of times we were seeing yesterday. Even that 1 second does matter. There's the other side of that coin is it's a smaller group, and some of the level is a little bit not quite as high as it was yesterday. So when you add 3 or 4 of those super Zwifters, we'll call them pro Zwifters out on course, it does bring the level a little bit higher. But male, definitely one to watch out for, I think, here. As I look through, I maybe shouldn't make too many assumptions as I look through on the riders list here. I'm going to say that Fawn and Male may be a few of these wild cards as well. We are seeing a lot of new PRs being set up and over the top of the course here. We'll give ride-ons to every one of these riders as they come through and see that those little ride-ons pop up on the right-hand side of the course there when they do a new record or a new personal record for each of the sections out on course there. Stronger than ever, Rogers. These guys just too good is what Mr. Big C MacD is saying. Kim Little giving us a little laugh over there about, I think, the comments about not showing up. That he didn't show up to the race today. Not sure what the deal is here. But Carissa, good to see you hanging out over at the Twitch channel. This is Mansky. I see your comment as well. Thanks a lot for tuning in as always, and glad to have you here. Looking through over at the Zwift Community Live broadcast as well. Vitor Mail is ranked second in Norway. He can hit super hard. Tom O'Kalen is letting us know. So thank you so much for that information. Actually, I'm going to have to take a look at his past results out on Zwift, Tom. Always a pleasure to have you in the broadcast. Long time Zwifter and racer out on Zwift. Actually, Tom O'Kalen, actually one of the endurance mountain bikers that shows up in races for the KISS racing team. As you can see, his real life kit there in that profile pic, actually, that matches up with what Mr. V Mail is actually wearing here in game right now. If we can actually grab a side view of him, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about here as far as that real life kit that Mr. Mail is wearing here. Let's see if we can get that a good view of that here in just a moment. Innovation's got this. Steve Fong is letting us know here. Steve, good to see you at the broadcast, buddy. And he's rooting on for the Innovation boys. And Lee Prouty is the cops. So, and that's those are not coming through the emotes, but essentially Lee says he is the police out on Zwift. So, good to see everybody over at the Zwift Community Live broadcast. Really appreciate you guys very much at the Facebook channel as well. So, and Frank the Tank is saying Beck is a monster, also a national champion, and he is a classy rider. He certainly is. So good to hear that. Blame Techie, thanks a lot for the host. I appreciate it very much. And not a cheating monster. You guys are interesting. So make sure to get me the information on these riders here. If you can link a wiki, that'd be amazing here. But see, back right now from ODZ. Haven't seen this rider a whole lot out on the world of Zwift racing, at least maybe in the races that I am commentating on. See, back riding for Team ODZ. He's got a second, a fifth, and a second here. Looking through, it is Chris Beck. He is SADA approved. I was told he's a national champion, actually, coming up. And he did the KISS Americas race back yesterday. Actually, the PM race. Did the EVR Americas actually back on the 16th. And then on the 12th, he did the WBR. That's a win, and a second place, actually, for Mr. Beck here. He's got an FTP of 345 watts, and he looks like he probably weighs less than I do out there. So 345 watts FTP. Weighing in at 65.8 kg, boys and girls. Watch out for this rider to just walk away from the rest of the pack. Innovation now with Loke going off the front as well. Beck following up very closely there. Then we are seeing Gavin Arbor. And the wild card today is going to be Beck, it looks like today. Maybe not so much of a wild card, and the expectation is almost there that this boy is going to be smashing the field today. But Mail is there as well. Watch out for him. I'm being told that he is ranked second out of Norway by the chat, who knows so much more than Nathan does. He rides for Swix, it looks like Hard Rock, 392 watt FTP, weighing in around 77 kg. So maybe a little bit more of a puncher than we see from Beck. And if it comes down to a sprint between those two, perhaps the Norwegian man is going to be favored. He's got a win in the KISS TT 10 mile yesterday back on the 7th. The XCRS ZTR, he took a win as well. KISS Pacific. I'm seeing nothing but gold on this guy's results, actually, boys and girls. So definitely be watching out for Mail out there today. And this is going to be an exciting race in the last lap and a half here, actually, with these newer riders to the world of our broadcast, but at the same time, super experienced and super strong riders to the world of real life racing. So looking here, 920. Look at all these golds here, boys and girls. This is the likes of Mail, ranked second out of Norway, we're being told. Zada approved, 36 races out on Zwift and racing for the KISS racing team. This is Beck here now that we're looking at 157 races out on Zwift, Team ODZ, and looks like this is second, a first, and a first just in the last couple of weeks here Not quite as decorated with those golds there as Mayo, but that is only, I think, because it's been summer. He's been racing outside most likely a little bit more here. But we are seeing quite a few results here throughout the summer, so interesting. So we'll have to see how this turns out here between these two. I think they may be the favorites out there. Mail now going off the front by 1 second there. Groot there following it up as well, coming out of Australia. Then we do have the Innovation Boy with Annabelle as well. With the fast lap out on Zwift right now, it looks like with 11:44.3, 2 seconds faster than the rest of the pack, actually. Nice job to Loke grabbing that orange jersey now. And so, Tangent Clamp, good to see you over at the broadcast, but thanks a lot to the moderators for dealing with that. Chris Beck Racing, thanks a lot there. Rogers throwing that over to me. USA Cycling Masters 40-44 Cat 1-2 champ, I'm being told, is Hubeck. He's also got some coaching services, actually, and also an MTB rider. I know Chris, actually. I think I actually have raced against Chris now that I think about it, or at least been in the same circles of racing as Mr. Chris Beck on the mountain bike, because I actually do recognize the name now. And he's actually done, I believe, some ultra endurance stuff. That's where I know the name from, actually. So good to see Chris out on Zwift, actually. Riding for ODZ. I believe he's from your neck of the woods, though, Frank the Tank, from my recollection. Looking through here now, we do see it looks like Loke now trying to get away a little bit here. He's got a little bit of a gap, but an odd time to try and do so, as they're about to head into the reverse Watopia climb, raising that heart rate up right before the attacks are about to start, actually. So we'll see if he is able to hang on even after throwing down a little bit too much energy, maybe right before that climb. Now getting back into the group as he knows that this climb's about to start here. So now we do have Crop here coming out of Canada, 93 RPM, no heart rate on, not going to be able to actually get a result in the A category without that heart rate. Gravdo from PTZ, like to know where the, I'm going to take a look through and see how Gravdo's been doing on these results as well here. If you do have any questions or comments, go Luge, coming from Lee Prouty from the WBR. Spat after getting stomach cramps going up the climb on the first lap. Connor Billings is letting us know. Sorry to hear that, Connor, as he comes in and chats at us over at the Facebook. We got Szymanski here as well. KRT for the win. Looks like he's got his new KISS Racing team kit on as well. Good to see you hanging out with the broadcast in the background. Long time viewer and racer out on Zwift. Go Luge and WBR Power coming from the police. Proudy out on the broadcast as well. We've got a lap and a half or so to go, and Luge is going off the front. We just saw some cheering for him. He was just actually, I believe, over at the Paris event for the CVR, and we do see him popping an arrow, not an arrow power, but a feather power up to get lighter on the uphill grind now. But 7.4 watts per kilogram being chased down by Anvik as well as Gravdell at 8.0 or so. And then we do see Richardson falling back there still in it. Gavin Arbor is there from Innovation trying to hold 300 watts all day long. We'll see if he can do so there. And then we do see Anger and Phone. Quentin LaFay still hanging in, playing it smart still, perhaps just looking for those drafts and looking for that sprint finish at the line, as we saw from him yesterday. Now, from the helicopter view, as we're looking down, we do see it is no gaps just yet, but now making his way to the front. It will be, is that Luz still actually making his way to the front, or actually Beck, excuse me. And now Anvik off the front by about 5 seconds, actually. That was actually just from the riders following off the back now. So looking here, Anvik actually working his way back into the group as they do make their way about halfway up the reverse Watopia climb. Back here now, again, at the front. 349 watts coming from Anvik there. Innovation there now as well. Annabelle leading things out, 166, all getting Group O Compacto at this point. Go back ODZ for ODZ. Coming from Matt Johnson, actually cheering you on there, Mr. Chris Beck, letting you know that you've got a lot of fans in your corner right now with 1 lap to go, looking to throw it down. And let's see, who is your prediction here? We've got now, it's been split up enough that we can start talking about a top 10 at this point over at ZwiftPower.com. We're seeing this newcomer though, Krop. He's put out a solid 4.9 watts per kilogram out of Canada here. He's on the back, playing it fairly savvy, it looks like, at this point, as we take a look still at Alexis Luge here from the helicopter view looking down. But it still, the attacks are coming up at the front as they make their final time up the not the final time up the climb, but the final few meters up this climb here. And Gavin Richardson's actually going from way out with that arrow power up, maybe looking for the double RNG in his favor here, as he throws down this arrow power up and is going to grab another power up immediately as they come through the KOM banner. And he's actually breaking things apart here. We are seeing a 1 second gap back to Gravdal now back trying to follow it up there. 176 beats per minute. These are real heart rates, real power right now. 172 Loke, 181 Gravdal, 170 there, 167 here coming from Annabelle. And it's all split up now, boys and girls. You definitely are seeing the gap start to form. Everyone's just trying to hold on to the wheel right in front of them. And with that drafting boost coming from the group, if it's just a single file line with little gaps though, you're not going to see the same drafting boost as you usually see in the groups now. And there is a little bit of a gap. They are able to drop a few off now, and they're starting to whittle it down now. Quitting the fight, just barely grabbing on to the back end of this group. There are a few riders in the way, actually, of the not in the way, but being lapped here, and causing some gaps here. Now Anvik here at 38 miles per hour with Innovation just barely grabbing on at 39. Anvik is going to need to do a big dig at this point to get back on terms with this group up here. Quentin Lefay there is the wheel he will be able to grab. That was a sketchy moment there. Mail, actually one of the stronger riders here, but weighing in at 78 kg, perhaps not the climber that we see in Beck and Luge and a few of these other lighter riders out on course, maybe more of a ruler, as you know, the type that can just TT big watts and big speed on the flats and the punchier climbs or sprints here, but definitely going up against riders that are about 10 kg lighter on those climbs that can put out power that is just a little bit less, about 50 watts less, but still 10 kg, 50 watts, that is a huge advantage on the climb sometimes. So now Mail though here, maybe just caught off guards though. Be watching out for him still in that sprint. Going into the bell lap now, boys and girls. 1 lap to go in this A category race. Going to actually look at the past results here coming from Mr. Joan Gravdal out of Norway. 37 races total. Took a win in WBR flat race actually yesterday. Kiss Europe race was the 7th though on Tuesday. So looking to better that 7th place race at a 4.78 watts per kilogram for the duration of that race out there. So currently in this group right now, we're looking at, looks like Krop did get dropped off the back right along with Anger, I believe. I'm going to take a look here real quickly. The other newer riders to the world of Zwift racing. And yes, Quentin Lefay is on the back there. Anger and Krop have been dropped off. Part of the Zwift Academy just going to finish up their race for the 2 races that they do need to complete for the Zwift Academy. So we are down to 11 riders. It looks like Groot's off the back as well out of Australia. So 11, and we've got P-Phone, Anvik, Annabelle, May, Richardson, Arbor, Beck, Luge, Quentin Lefay, as well as Jay Gravdal, and then C. Loke from Innovation. Represented teams, STCO for phone. I'm unfamiliar with the STCO team, actually. Let's go ahead and open up that team over at ZwiftPower.com and see what this is all about. And it's actually just Peter Phone. Steiner Kalnago, of course. Excuse me, guys. My mistake, actually. Coming out of Switzerland, Peter Phone riding for one of the strongest teams in one of the stronger teams at the elite level. Coming out of Switzerland, actually. So another rider who's coming from the elite ranks in real life out there racing out on Zwift. Just to show you how amazing this platform is of massive multiplayer onlines in the A categories lately. We have been seeing time and again these elite and pro riders showing up, not just world tour riders, but maybe riders who ride for domestic teams that aren't traveling the world on an international UCI team, but got some killer power that are similar to at that level of international even. And there may be other reasons that are not, you know, personally in my own pro career, I never went on to road or went into that super high level of traveling internationally. Did a couple of World Cups here and there, but just didn't have the time and with family life and everything, the want to even at certain points to make that next step because it's a very different life, that's for sure. Chatting up with Mr. Greg Henderson about that and how it works, you know, grabbing those pro contracts. It's a full-on lifestyle change and a lot of alone time sometimes too as well. And so CNP phone back out here as well as Mail all being a part of these top and elite teams domestically in their respective countries. Now we've got some serious massive multiplayer online international field here showing up here from the pro ranks and elite ranks right now. So let's see if they can show what they've got here though against some of these Zwift professional type racers, A category type racers here. And it's still a road race and the tactics are going to come down to the line. 147 here coming out of Switzerland with Peter Phone. I'm predicting Mail Phone as well as back off the front with maybe a savvy rider or two from maybe LaFay and Richardson, and then a 5-up sprint between those three. I'm not gonna say who I think is going to take. If it does come up to that sprint, I'm gonna be calling out Mr. V Mail for the sprint, but we're gonna have to watch out for that. So Tom O'Kalan, where are you? Benjamin is asking over at the Facebook page. I think Tom, he's got some of the, I think Tom's raced the most. One of the highest number of races, I think, out on Zwift is Mr. Tom O'Kalan. He might be taking a little break. We'll have to see. Rogerio Villela is saying that he's been demolished out on course. Good to see you there, Rogerio, tuning in over at the Facebook page, the Zwift Community Live Facebook page. Good to see you. Looking through the chats here real quick over at Mixer now. I am seeing a little bit of chat here. Vidar is a strong man from Norse. My friend will be racing on Zwift soon, who is going pro next year. It's good to hear you there, Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers over at the Zwift Community Live Mixer. And Rogers probably got him a spreadsheet. He most likely did to let him know everybody who's the real deal and who is not. And Chris is saying, racing ladies only. Ugh, internet failed. Wasn't front group on the plus side. Tron, Chris, you got the Tron bike. That's absolutely awesome. Great job. I'll make sure to look through and find some of the women out there on course if I can. The women's only race, I'm going to actually take a look at it right now and see who is in that race. I actually did not put an avatar in it, and I probably should do that. If the ladies only race is actually growing, that would be really good to know. Actually, they're doing 3 laps, 27K total. I'm looking at the live results right now for the ladies only race out on Zwift, and we definitely do not want to and we are seeing Cassie Baldy actually takes the W actually in the ladies only race. Actually, good to see her out there riding for Team Experimental. Amelia B there as well, followed up by Akshan. Ruth Summerford and then Z Kreider. That's your top 5 in the ladies only race. Sonia Inslee as well as Kate Knight. These are all Zwift Academy women actually. Looks like a solid amount of women showing up. Girls, make sure to let me know. It wasn't even on my radar. I'm sorry that there was a KISS ladies only race today and that you were participating in that specifically for the Zwift Academy. We are definitely going to start jumping in there starting as of next week. You let all those ladies know we will be there next week as well as Tuesday and Thursday for the KISS ladies only. We'll definitely be going coverage of that. We'll do that rather than jumping into the B, C, or D categories for the other races. So in the B category, it does look like it was Akchan with a 4.7 watts per kilogram, though. So it will be Kristen Stolp, followed by Sonia Inslee, and then Kate Knight there in that B category. In the C category, Rar Myler Harvey, followed up by Joke Meinkens and Save Ingmo. It looks like Carissa Min just off the back there by about a minute or so, about to finish up her race in that C category, actually, on the forward KOM for her third lap with a solid 2.9 watts per kilogram. Carissa, you've gotten stronger, it looks like, out on Zwift, so solid jive. My money is on Quinton. Paul Dalebout is saying with maybe the cheeky move at the end, they're able to hang on. The question is for Quinton, I think, is he going to be able to hang on to the top of this climb? Because he's got the sprint and he's got the smarts out on Zwift. Quinton LaFay, riding for Vision Cycling, one of the longest standing riders on the team for Vision Cycling and one of the longest standing racers out on Zwift ever since beta. 173 races out on Zwift. He's made his way through a lot of health issues, actually, as far as some knee issues and a few others that he's had to work through, actually, through Zwift and through the community. And I do believe that it's done him so much good, actually, in his life of cycling and just regular life as well, with the connections that he's made, I've seen through the team. If you haven't found a team out on Zwift, there's lots of them. If you're really, really into racing, you're seeing a lot of the race-focused and group ride-focused teams out on Zwift right now. The KISS Racing team, definitely a racing-focused team, as well as a training-focused team. They do some training rides together. Innovation as well does a lot of training rides together, as we look at Chris Loke from Innovation here, making his way up and over the top. A lot of training rides that Kyle Augustine manages. He does a really great job of serving his team in that way. And then they do show up and race in force. Vision Cycling, more of just a racing-focused / very community-like team, though. At the same time, we don't run any group rides or anything like that, but we've got a very strong camaraderie within the team, a Facebook group that almost feels like family in a lot of ways in their interactions, a lot of real life interactions as well. PTZ as well, is not a Portugal only team. The director, though, coming out of Portugal, BJ Alfonso, solid team, races fast, and also has a strong community within and of itself there. KRT, who do we miss? TFC started out as a C and under category only team, actually, and runs the Friday Criterion. Be watching out for them. Great team to be a part of as well. So it has a lot of riders actually in that C and D category, but has added the likes of MacD out there, as you can see, and a few others from the A categories in the last. We keep on getting the trees there as we try and get the other shot of the riders there. The cameraman just could not get out of the trees. Anvik now kicking 8.5 watts per kilogram. So WBR, obviously the World Bicycle Relief team that we do see out there with Alexis Luge right now, supports an amazing charity, helps run great group rides that start almost like every hour out on Zwift. Group rides and races. ODZ, cannot fail to mention them, one of the best group ride running teams out on Zwift. You're really interested into group rides, as well as some high-end racing, obviously, with Chris Beck and the likes of Gagne and Like a Canyon and Brett Boniface and other ones like that. ODZ, definitely a high-end racing, but also super, super focused on training and a lot of camaraderie within that team for sure. One of the most active Facebook groups, actually, as well, as far as the team environment goes. But it is an open Facebook group, I believe, unless they have, ODZ has their own private Facebook in addition to the open Facebook, though. I'm not positive here. But Innovation now with Annabelle hasn't been able to break things apart now. It is going to come down to a sprint finish unless there is a crazy attack at this point through this last 200 meters to the top of this reverse KOM. It's all the chips are going to be on the table here soon, boys and girls. We're going to see who our winner is going to be momentarily. Just about 2 to 3 minutes left of racing out on the KISS Europe on this Thursday, September 21st. Now, Anvik now going, though, right along with Gravdo on his wheel. Beck now being caught off guard. Those two get away. It might be GG from the get-go here. Anvik out of Norway, actually, maybe knowing his fellow countryman Mail is in the group right now and does not want it to come down to a sprint finish with him, actually. Anvik here, let's go ahead and see what this rider's past results. 2 wins, actually, in the past Looks like 2 races that he's done. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins, actually. Team Gladiators race. That's a difficult race to win as well, actually, out on Zwift here. But P. Fawn now getting away out of Switzerland. This is the man riding for Steiner, I believe. Is that right? So looking through here, we're going to see if we can find... Yeah, it is going to be Peter Fawn riding for Steiner Colnago getting off the front here, but 174 beats per minute already raised that heart rate up pretty high. Unable to get away now. Here comes an arrow power up now from, is it Annabelle? No, it is going to be C. Loke with the Allenby tactic that we've called it before. MFG coming from Debsky here, letting us know that it's difficult. Oh, and a dropout now from the Innovation rider. Now another one goes right on by. Annabelle now kicking it again, 166 beats per minute, trying to get away. Quentin Lefebvre following closely, lining himself up very, very smartly now at this point, making sure that none of the wheels get away and looking for that moment to pounce now. It's going to be all about timing and perhaps an arrow power-up. They're all popping their arrow power-ups as they're starting to be let go at this point. Here comes Luge now. Now we're seeing Male kick 13 watts per kilogram, boys and girls. We called it as one of the stronger riders out on Zwift with a kick to the line. Can Male hold on? But it's going to be Quentin Lefebvre. Last second power up, and you were correct. And there's Lefebvre with the revenge from yesterday. What an effort there from Quentin, and perfect timing. Held right on the Male's wheel. He knew, I think, that V-Male would be the one to watch out for the kick. He grabbed onto that wheel, threw the arrow power up at the last second. Perfectly timed there, coming from Mr. Quentin Lefebvre there. Solid effort there. V-Male will take second place. And quite the bunch there to sprint it out against. Anvik now letting his heart rate come down. Gravdo as well, 773 there. Let's go ahead and see what the results have to say to us now. And it is going to be Quentin Lefebvre there with a 49.09 at the line. Then we do have Vitor Mail there, followed by Peter Fawn Steiner there, riding for Steiner there as well. Then looking through, we are seeing it is Alexis Luge coming through for, it looks like, 4th place. I'm looking through to see if we have Quentin maybe over at the Zwift Community Live channel, perhaps. Make sure that you're logging in over at ZCL if you can for the post-race interviews, as we would like to start bringing people in for them. We are seeing Gavin Richardson coming in for 5th, then it will be Chris Beck at 6th, and then Simon Anvik, Alessandro Annabelle, Joan Gravdo, and then Gavin Arbor for 10th place in this B category now as the riders are cooling down. Nice job, nice kick, very savvy ride there from the likes of Mr. Quentin Lefebvre and the rest of the riders there. Nice job. A solid top 10 is nothing to wink at in amongst these super riders out on Zwift here. Gavin on Z Power, Roger saying, I don't think so. Good to see you there, Fibo. Welcome to the broadcast. Bam, the SW is saying over at there. Gavin A will get it. I reckon Kim Little is saying Quentin will get it. I reckon it changes the story there. And I don't think he's got a kicker any longer. I think Gavin Arbor switched it up perhaps. Look again, Rogers is saying here. Looking through here, Gavin Arbor shouldn't be on Z Power. He's on a smart trainer. I'm looking right now. Gavin Richardson was actually on Z Power. Actually, we are seeing interesting. Maybe that's a mistake though. He was on a kicker actually. Maybe just today, perhaps he had to ride on Z Power for some reason. I'm not sure, but definitely know that he does have a. He's got a kicker. I know that. Maybe swapped up his power source. I'm not sure, but now up at the front, we are seeing innovation in force with Race WBR now in this B category. For those of you who do not know, are like, what is going on here? We just saw the race finish. This is the final few K here of the B category. And these are riders that can hold 3.2 to 3.9 watts per kilogram actually here. So now Mason here from, it looks like Innovation pulling along a little bit. Look at all the Alienware kits, and that is the adopted kit of Innovation. As we look down here at the group, you can see one just from the helicopter view here coming through the trees now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 riders at least from Innovation. They might have the odds in their favor for the W, but WBR is in there as well with 3 riders to be watching out for. We are seeing, it looks like, Nathan from Race WBR. We are also seeing, looking through here, L Dix is in there as well. Watch out for PJ. And it's going to be about who can set up correctly here. One more kick up over the top here. This is going to be a super exciting sprint, actually, with MR here, 175 beats per minute, trying to find the correct positioning. Now we are seeing, it looks like PJ 185. These boys are absolutely suffering at this point. 171 here coming from D. Donald, though. Innovation here with the orange cap on now. And now looking through here, is there anyone else? We are seeing CJ who, as well as Howlett. And it's going to come down to the smartest rider again now at this point with this large group on the reverse Watopia for 4 laps, as we've definitely seen some solid efforts to try and get away now, but the group has just chased them all down. So it is going to be a sprint to the line. The New Zealander here, will it be Donald? Actually, probably me. I wonder if he actually knows Mr. K. Augustine, the director sportif over at Innovation, as he was originally from New Zealand, moved over to the UK, it looks like here. But now looking through WBR setting up toward the front, you do see the WBR kids all kind of making their way toward the front of the group here. There are actually 4 WBR riders. Who is the other one? I missed one of them. MR, PJ, Nathan is in there as well. They're not all registered, it looks like. Dix is in there as well. Not all of them have registered over at zwiftpower.com, so we'll have to wait and see as we make our way to the line. MR, that's who is going to be the other rider. Now they're starting to ramp it up here. Going from way out, we do see Wozniak now throwing down from, it looks like 200, 300, 400, 500 meters. Carlson, though, throws down the power up here. Not sure he's going to be seen again as he gets the gap immediately, but here comes Wozniak for Team Poland here. Carlson unable to hold off, 14 watts per kilogram to the line. Wozniak with the kick. It's Innovation for second and third, fourth as well, fifth as well, dominating the top spots on the podium, but it's all about the big watts, using the pack correctly, found the train, and Wozniak was able to come right on through with that final kick to the line. What an effort there. Lots of PRs there set around the course as well, so we'll give some ride-ons away as they make their way to, or as they cool down out on course with those PRs in pocket now. So as we wait for the results, if you did not know, this is a part of the Zwift Academy. 8 workouts, 5 group rides, and 2 races. They're getting their races done out there. You can also jump in if you're not a part of the Zwift Academy. It's not specific to the Zwift Academy. Besides, it does count towards the races that you can do out on Zwift for your Zwift Academy completion. Also, coming at you will be tomorrow if you are in Australia. Actually, if you're just waking up on Friday morning over in the land down under. Saturday, September 23rd, Rafa Clubhouse, Melbourne, 1700 to 22 is going to be the Aussie E-Crit Finals. People raced throughout the entire summer, well, our summer, their winter, down in Australia, and they were competing for a spot in the Aussie E-Crit Finals. The top 10 have been decided and are probably starting to show up in Melbourne. I did get some awesome pictures coming from the productions man, Mr. Johnny Noblet, actually, and it looks like some amazing setup. Really, really great show that they're going to be putting on over there. So make sure to tune in for the Aussie E-Crit Finals. As we wait up for a few of the C riders, if you're confused about what I'm talking about Zwift Academy, this is what it's all about.
This September, Team Dimension Data and Zwift are joining forces to create a unique cycling opportunity. Open to cyclists of all ages and abilities, the Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy is a world-class training program designed to make you a rider who will accomplish more than just personal fitness gains. For every 10 cyclists who graduate the academy, Zwift will donate a Quebec bike to help mobilize South African communities.
The work that we do with Quebec, we can change the lives of many different people and communities, and hopefully one day a child that starts on a Quebec bicycle ends up at the Tour de France. Zwift is an amazing platform to connect with fans and to ride with people around the world, and takes indoor training to another level.
Zwift, it feels real, like you do a climb, 20-minute climb, a 30-minute climb, it feels real, and that you can really relate that to racing. I always say it's like the best thing since SRM.
I think it's a lot of people that are really strong and maybe not have the chance to show how strong they are.
The Academy doesn't stop here. Top performing graduates under the age of 22 will be invited to compete for a contract with Team Dimension Data's U23 Continental Squad.
This is a real opportunity for any under 23 rider from around the world to come into our continental team to showcase their talent and to be a part of the national team circuits and the under 23 circuits, and then potentially get into the world tours.
I truly believe that Zwift Academy is going to fill in a huge chunk of that journey from being a dreamer to the reality at the end.
Zwift and Team Dimension Data challenge you to train today for a stronger, better tomorrow. Take action now and sign up at academy.zwift.com.
So enrollment is finished for the Zwift Academy. It was cut off at the 15th, but that's an idea of what we're talking about there. Amazing program that's being put together. Here are the results here for the B category. Lucas Wozniak, followed up by Nick Carlson, and then Guy Rigdervald. Magnus Giljam, followed up by Dominic Donald. Nice job to those riders. You can see Team Poland taking it, but then it was innovation. And then Paul Mason, innovation. Luke Dix is out there, though, for WBR. Paul Jameson, as well as Nathan Martel. And then Matt Ray. Nice job to those riders. That is your top 10 to 20, actually. It was a huge group, actually, in and amongst those B category riders. But now we are looking through here and finding it looks like S. Reed going out for another lap in that D category. Give him a ride on as he finishes up his race. Barroso's here for the B category, holding off Marino, as well as Haradine here coming out of Australia, hammering into the line with Rougeron out of France. As we wait up for the rest of the C category riders, there they are, G. Delport down at the bottom, but we definitely want to cover a few of these other riders making their way to the line with Rougeron out of France here. 3.1 watts per kilogram, trying to hold off Mr. Haradine here, who has been dropped off of the back of the wheel of Rougeron out of France, actually. So looking through, I do see there is the gap, but Haradine able to close it down out of Australia here. So I'm not sure if it's gonna happen here for Mr. Rougeron, as Haradine kicks right on by 6.0 watts per kilogram, unable to hold that wheel. Threw all his chips on the table already, it looks like, and absolutely gone now. It is going to be Haradine to the line at 9.0 watts per kilogram. Not for the W, but for the W amongst the rider that he was racing against. And that's what's so awesome about Zwift. Always somebody to compete with around your level. See how now, right along with G. Wall. Goldenberg now, it looks like bringing it to the line with Fritz. Let's see how this sprint ends up. It looks like Sparshot here now out of the UK. 161, 340 watts, leading things out. How now, waiting for the kick. Here it comes. 5.1 watts per kilogram, but it's going to be Roden maybe just holding up. 174. No, nothing left in the tank. He's going to let these boys go and sprint it out to the line. How now, kicking 10.6 watts per kilogram, trying to come back around as we've got Sparshot here at 7.5, has a little bit of an edge over him, but out of nowhere, Roden maybe no, and doesn't nip him at the line. He timed it a little bit off. It was actually Howe, I believe, who was able to take that W. Roden passes them all, but just 1 or 2 meters too late at the line. Let's make sure that we find, look at these boys just hanging out the side of the road there. You know that it's been a difficult day for them. G. Delport, though, in the C category, this is what we've been waiting for right here, boys and girls, and this is going to be the W, I believe, for the C category. Sprinting it out with Davies. Farah's now crossing the line as well. Second place, it looks like, for him. And then it will be Naraj just ahead of Lloyd, saying that's enough for me, dude. I'm just going to cross. Soft pedaling. That was insanity is what I think he's thinking right now with the solid 3.3 watts per kilogram across the line. Part of the Zwift Academy, has not done a race out on Zwift before out of Poland. So actually, I believe he has been coaxed into the demolishing efforts that is Zwift racing, actually. And good to see him out there joining in. What a nice race. Thanks for the coverage, Nathan. No problem there, Mitch Boltnick. I appreciate you tuning in. Impresses Vidar Mail once again in the top. Benjamin saying over at the broadcast on our Zwift Community Live Facebook. Joan Gravdow saying, good one, not one for the sprints. Joan is saying, Joan, thanks a lot for tuning in and great job on your race today. As always, bud, it's always good to see you out there representing Team PTZ as well. So, and now let's go ahead and see if there's anybody else that came on through. We were seeing Mitch there with the nice comments there. Really appreciate it. And so do we use an e-bike? What are we talking about here, Leaf Rowdy? Of course not. That'd be an interesting, it's interesting if they did. And so looking through here, congrats to the win, Quentin. Great sneaky sprint. Thanks for the broadcast, Nathan. Crazy race. Glad to be back home. Quentin, if you're ever racing, make sure to jump into the ZCL Discord, and we'll go ahead and grab you one of these times to hear all about your tactics and try and work our way through your French accent. As you had a great race today, it'll be great to listen to the just to hear a little bit about how the tactics played out. But I think we're going to leave that for another day. That's going to be it from me today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And since this is a part of the Zwift Academy, and we did not cover the women's race, I apologize. I thought I was seeing women jumping into the mixed race, the co-ed race a whole lot. And then, Carissa, thank you so much for tipping me off to let me know that most women are joining into the women's only race. So I'm definitely going to start jumping into there with Lindsay's avatar and make sure that we get the right coverage of your race. So thank you so much for tipping me off. And if you're unfamiliar with the Zwift Academy and what happened with the women's Zwift Academy last year, because this is not just for men, a lot of people are wondering, well, I'm triggered. I actually had a couple over at the Mixer channel saying, I'm triggered. It looks like it's just for men. No, not whatsoever. Here's what happened, because it was actually a women's program first and foremost. So here's what happened last year.
Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard, but come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best, because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.